Nation, we are live. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday is my YouTube day. It has been a crazy day. So Monday's my mentoring day, Tuesday's my YouTube day, Wednesday's my project day, and once a month on a Tuesday, I do my big filming day. So that was today, or is today. I still got more content to film. So it's just nonstop in the studio making content. My other three Tuesdays in a month are lighter filming days, but once a month it's the big, heavy, lots of videos doing. So I am halfway through the day, and we're taking a break to be here with you guys, to chat, to bring some love, to bring some value. I see, okay, we got Live Beyond Fitness back. So we had a technical issue last time, an internet connection issue, but we're back. We're gonna bring her in, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody, hopefully this works. Sorry, let's bring in Patricia. Here we go. Okay, Patricia, I sent the invite. Sending positive vibe. It's working.
Hey, I think so.
Hey, all right, it's happening. Hello, Patricia. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for being so patient with technology and such.
Hey, it happens. It happens. So
Yeah.
Give us a quick. I know we kind of got, I don't know, a quarter of the way through it last time. So give us a quick recap, and then we'll dive into how I can help.
Okay, so recap, I am a pivoting personal trainer. Over the past year, I've taken a course on how to be a health coach, life coach, which really is only a piece of paper because that's what I've been doing for the last 20 years. And just, looking for, so I also invested in a program to develop courses to promote online. So that is a passion, to be able to be in front of more people than the one-on-one thing, although that's, down the road, that's part of the package, maybe the premium package is coaching with me. So that's where I am right now. And I had a brainstorm this morning because I was reading my Deepak Chopra little book on the 7 successes for life, or 7 laws to be successful in life. And he was talking about what is your unique expression. What is the thing that you do that no one else can do the way I do it? And why is it that it's so special to me? Like, who taught me how to do this? No one. So helping people. So I was washing the dishes. I mean, who gets brainstorms when they're washing the dishes, right? So what I thought of today to help us with our call to get you to get some insight into me is what I do that no one else can do is hold space for people so that they can find their fullest expression, and that is through fitness. So fitness is step 1. My hashtag is fitness makes everything better. So that is one of the things that I want to keep doing, is helping people find that childish enthusiasm, that expression of, how great life can be no matter what, especially for boomer women. Women who are in their 50s are going through perimenopause, menopause, weight gain, hot flashes, fatigue, all of those wonderful things that we go through as we transition in this stage of life. And as I'm doing it too, I want to be that person that pulls people out of the fear and out of their past and help them find their path into the future.
I love it. I want to sidetrack for 1 second because I'm tomorrow interviewing Deepak Chopra for my channel. And I'm wondering if you have a question that I should ask him. What would your one question to Deepak be?
For Deepak be? Man, he's got a nice voice. I mean, every time I listen to his meditations and he says, welcome, and I say, thank you. His spirit is just so peaceful. So I guess one of the things would be, what is your most important source of strength and peace?
Okay.
Like what brings him to his place of strength and peace at the same time?
Okay. Well, stay tuned.
Try that. I don't know.
Not a live interview, so it'll be on my YouTube channel in a couple weeks. But
okay,
I'll take that in.
Cool.
Okay, back to you. The audience that you typically work with, are they women who already believe in fitness and have already been healthy in the past and may have fallen off, and just need a little boost? Or are they people who maybe have never been into fitness, are tired of their bodies looking the way it is, and are now for the first time discovering themselves?
That's an interesting question, because moving forward, it's really, really challenging to help a person if they don't have that mindset. If they're all they see is a pattern of yo-yo dieting, weight gain, despair. A lot of people are afraid of exercise. They're afraid of exercise, which floors me, because for me, exercise is a way to express myself, obviously. So I've worked with both in the past. I had a success story years ago with a woman who was basically a knitter. Okay, all she would love to do is knit and raise her family and, you know, take care of her family. And she came to me, and in 6 weeks, she was like a whole new person. To me, that's the anomaly. That does not happen very often. Most people come because they want someone to hold their hand. They want to say they have a trainer. It's a very inexpensive counseling session, because everything that person talks about while they're on the fitness floor stays on the fitness floor. I mean, I want them to drop it on the floor so that they go out a better person.
Yeah.
So that's what my experience has been largely up until now. So moving forward, that's an interesting question. Do I deal with the women who haven't got I don't want to say they haven't got a clue, but are really, really at a loss of what to do? Or do I deal with women who are saying, wait a minute, this isn't supposed to happen. How do I get through this?
So I would look at it, do you want to train? So if I look at the personal growth kind of spectrum, you got years at the beginning, and that's where most people are. Like, most people are in the camp of, well, I can't be fit. I've never been fit my whole life. Now that I'm 55, I'm going to be fit. That's ridiculous, right? Like,
right.
I don't want you to have to worry about selling that person through content, through just being around you. Yes, like that's what YouTube and Instagram content is for, to show the possibility. But getting who's checked out on life, you know, on a phone call is just going to be a giant drain on you.
Right. Right.
It's the next step are the wannabes who's like, okay, I'm kind of watching fitness. You know, I've been doing a little bit of dieting, but they're not in it yet, but they kind of want to. Versus the achievers or high achievers who are already into it, but they need extra coaching. So like somebody, and maybe she was an athlete in her 30s or 20s, and then had kids, and then just kind of not just but just hasn't been into it, but now really wants to. Just trying to find what is that sweet spot, because you can either be the high performance person who's going to scare a lot of the early stage wannabe people. It's like, oh my gosh, like she's crazy, I can't do that.
Right.
Or you're the person who does appeal to the more beginners, to say they've already had the mindset of, I want to change my life. So we're not convincing them that fitness is a good thing, at least in the program, but they haven't done anything, and they're like, believe it's good. They don't believe they can do it. They've got the mental block. It's like, I'm not good enough to be able to do this, or I can't be like Patricia or whatever, right? So you want the beginner people who kind of they have the mindset, but they don't have the belief set? Or do you want the achievers who are already doing it, but need the tune-up and need the extra support?
I'm taking that in. And the reason that I'm going to take that in and maybe not answer you yet is because I've come up with a program, a method, because I'm working on a course, and you've got to give your course a name. You've got to, create your avatar. Who's your perfect audience? What do you want them to tell? What do you want to say to them? What do you want the results to be? And then, you give them something to latch onto, which is, why they're there, and give them a teaching point, give them some action points, and then you move on down, from module to module. So the name of my business is Full Sun, okay? And I've come up with the Full Sun 7, which is basically 7 things that you need to do to be healthy. Because fitness is just like one of them. It's a many-legged chair, okay? It's a 7-legged chair. So fitness is just part of it. It's the other aspects of life, like You know, being aware of what your food is, how much water you drink, what your gratitudes are, what's your frame of mind, what's your heart feeling like each day. Are you getting enough rest and recovery? You know, are you exercising and feeling like beating yourself up about it? No, the rest and recovery, the recovery is one of the most important parts. How conscious are you of your breathing? And again, you know, the food and veg, are you getting at least 7 servings of food and veg? So anyway, I have this Full Sun 7. And to me, that seems like something that is graspable for the women who have never been who have not yet embraced their fitness lifestyle. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, where is it? Fitness is not a destination, it is a lifestyle. I have that thing on the back of the wall that my daughter bought me years ago.
I like it.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel about it. And that's how I feel about, you know, going into my 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, it's a lifestyle that I want to promote, and I want to carry that. So to answer your question, I'm answering the question while I'm expressing this, is probably the people who have been thinking about it and don't know where to start. So I would be like almost beginner, because I don't want to have that. I think my approach is good for everyone. You know, it's not excluding people. And it really incorporates, to me, all the aspects of a holistic approach to health and well-being, not just the fitness part, even though that's how I step into it, is through that. Does that make sense?
Full Sun 7?
Full Sun 7. There's 7 things.
So a couple things. And listen, we're bouncing, we're dancing together. Learning, we're going. How I would separate it is, one, I think you're right. I think you're smart. I think if you're doing a course, it has to hit a more mainstream audience, because it opens up the people who can do it. It's giving people hope that they can, that it's not too late. I mean, I think that whatever the common arguments that your clients will tell you is like, it's too late. I haven't been healthy in my life. You know, this can't happen for me. But there's definitely this wave of just empowerment happening right now, and people stepping into their own and feeling like, okay, like I see my kids doing it, chasing the dream. They've moved out now. They're living their life. Like, maybe I can do it too. Maybe I don't have to live my mom's life. You know, I could be totally different in my 60s than what my mom was in her 60s. Right? I think it's a very real thing. So they want it, but they don't know that it's possible, and they don't have the support system and the belief system. And so that kind of messaging, I think, could be really helpful for the course. Yeah. I think the coaching then is the more advanced people. So the program, the course is the beginners, and then the coaching people who are really ready to commit, who are really to do the work, who've already kind of gone through the 7 steps and have a grasp of it and believe in it, but need now the extra push, or hug. You know, I mean, it's both. You probably hug people and push people. Right. I mean, you're really a psychologist who also knows how to do fitness stuff, right? I mean,
exactly.
Every good psychologist. You know, I love that you create a space for people. I love that you let them leave it on the floor. I love that come out transformed as a different human, and I believe it. Like, I believe that the work you're doing is super important, because this might be time for a lot of people coming in that they actually have told people those things, or that have, like, when was the last time they sweat so hard, or they did something hard? Like, when was the last time they even did something hard? And that gives them confidence, and with that confidence, whole life can change, right?
Exactly.
You're essentially a life coach, you know, but you're approaching it through
from the fitness. Yeah.
I think the 7. I think that's. I don't know if that's the company name, though. I think that's the product name. Like, that's the course name. Correct.
Even though that is my company name is Full Sun, that's my method. This is a method, as an offshoot of, and I guess therein lies the question, and one of the reasons that I'm so excited that I have a live call with you, because I've only been listening to, I've only been involved with your program about a month, so I'm a newbie here. Thank you to my friend, my innovator friend Adele, who turned me on to you. So on Instagram, I was using Full Sun Wellness as on Instagram and on Facebook. It's Full Sun Wellness. And we had that conversation. That doesn't speak to anybody, which is why I changed it to Live Beyond Fitness. And then there's me, the badass boomer beauty. So who do I show up as? Because I feel like I'm all of these things, and I know that's going to be too confusing moving forward. That's where I'm a little confused, is who do I show up as? Who's projecting my 100 videos? Is it Patricia Ellen's fitness trainer who's been a fitness trainer for 20 years who's in menopause? Or is it, someone who, well, I'm answering the question again, someone who believes in living beyond fitness. So
I like you, to be honest, but I wouldn't say Patricia fitness trainer. I'd go with the boomer angle.
Patricia badass boomer?
Yeah. That's the brand. I think that's the company. That's the brand. It's you. And then everything else are products or service offerings. So you've got your Full Sun 7. That's a course. That's your level Full Sun 7. That could even be a PDF to get people in, or those could be different videos. And here are. And if you want more, I've got a course on it, and I guide people through the process. And it's a very kind of beginner focused, getting people into the hope that I could make something.
Right.
The Living Beyond Fitness is also great, and this part of you, but that's another product or service offering.
Yeah.
That could be your coaching line where it's working with you one-on-one, but it could also be another course that you offer of, okay, we've got your fitness down. Now where do we take things so that this is part of your entire life that that you grow and help. So I think it's Patricia, the badass boomer, at the top, and embracing that, because I think what even using those words is going to be hard for people to call myself. I'm not in the age category yet, but I can see it for people to call themselves a badass boomer. That requires a certain level of confidence that they don't get, and so that's aspirational.
Yeah, I'm in the process of writing my own manifesto, my own badass boomer manifesto, which again is going to be part of the brand, I guess. And so yes, I'm going to change my badass boomer beauty to Patricia the badass boomer, right? Because why not?
The manifesto is part of the badass boomer. That's part of the whole. That's why it reminds me of Mary Kay Ash. I don't know if you know the Mary Kay Ash story.
No.
But you know the name, like Mary Kay Ash, the company?
Yeah, Mary Kay, the cosmetic products?
Yeah. So Mary Kay was a top salesperson at a couple of companies, kept getting passed over by her male counterparts, and ultimately she ended up getting passed over by someone who she had trained, and now this guy became her boss. And she's like, this is I trained this guy. Here,
I'm out of here.
Out of here. Leaves to another company, and then she gets put on the board of directors. Like, oh, this is my chance now. I'm on the board. This means something. And every she had kept getting passed over. I said, oh, Mary Kay, you're just thinking like a woman. And none of her ideas got passed, right? I mean, it's a different era, but that's what she was facing, and she was.
It's not that different.
Well, this is why we need the badass boomer to go and change the world, right?
Right.
So she left, and she said, this is ridiculous. The world has to change. There are super talented women in the corporate world who need to get recognition. So she wrote her manifesto. And her manifesto was basically how a woman should start a company. Here's what we need. And then at the end of the manifesto, she realized, wait a minute, these are the rules that my advice would be to women who are starting a company. Why don't I just live it and start my own company instead of just writing the manifesto? And that's the thing that she started Mary Kay. And so when she started it, she was starting with her husband at the time. And then a month or two before she started it, her husband died of a heart attack. And so all of her team, like her lawyer, her accountant's like, okay, well, I guess you're done. I mean, without your husband, you can't do business, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and she's like, no, what? Back to the manifesto. Like, why did I write this? I don't need him to start a business. We're doing it. And he created Mary Kay, and huge company, and really empowering a lot of women to be entrepreneurs kind of under her, within her system. And so I love that idea of having, like, what does the badass boomer manifesto look like? Like the rules that even you still like aspire to live by. It's like, here's the perfect, here's what I want to be, and I'm every day still trying to do it myself, and join me on the journey. So the badass boomer, the manifesto, I'd love to see on the homepage of, like, whatever I don't know how long it is, if it's 5 lines, if it's a page, if it's 18 pages, like whatever feels right to you. And it may go through multiple revisions, so don't worry about it being perfect out of the gate. But yeah, Patricia the badass boomer, with your manifesto for what that means. Like, what is a badass? We do this, right? And that could be like that thing on your wall that your daughter bought you, right? That's something that people print off, that you're building they could identify with, that you sell to put up, and art and all of that, because people desperately want to identify with that, to believe that hope is possible.
Yeah.
Your other names are great. They're just product names. Those are the different offerings that you have, whether it's a course, whether it's coaching, whether it's group training, whether it's the things that whether it's like, I could see Live Beyond Fitness being a 3-day virtual summit where you're teaching, your Deepak Chopra is coming in to teach. You got other people teaching at the event too, because now that we're talking beyond fitness, you don't need to pretend like you have all the answers for every life question ever, right? Yes, for you to learn from as well. So those are all just different products that live underneath the main brand.
Wow, that's cool. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. How does that sit?
So it sits well. So I am going to start. What you're suggesting is to start showing up as Patricia the badass boomer, who believes fitness makes everything better, living my manifesto day to day, sometimes achieving my mark, sometimes not, and showing that humanness that I have, and that love and respect I have for myself. Yeah, I'm pretty fit, pretty darn fit for a woman of my age, but that doesn't mean that, that I'm better than you. It just means that I'm here for you. And that's what I need to constantly express, that I'm here for you. This has been my lifestyle for 20 years. You're not going to show up and, change your life in a day or in 6 months. It'll take a while, but it starts really in your head and in your heart. What do you want for the rest of your life? What's your why? What gets you out of bed every day? And I do that every day. Like, I get up and I help people, and I turn myself on with exercise and bring a smile to my own face as well as the people that I work with.
I love it.
Right?
Getting lots of love in the chat. Badass boomer is catchy. The badass boomer, go. And what I love about it is you bring a very different energy to the fitness world, which I think is very heavily dominated by more masculine energy. Even the women are more masculine energy, of like just yelling at you and like, just go do this, and no excuses and let's go one more set. And listen, I know that you can get rough and hard and like push people, and
I have my moments.
The overall energy is a lot more graceful and peaceful and present, and I think that's badly needed. Like, I don't think that's in the marketplace right now, and you can really own that spot, because I don't think a lot of people, especially your target, will resonate with the typical trainer of the world out there, and so they feel like they've got nobody, and so they do nothing. And Patricia, you can be a badass boomer and still lead with heart and love and care and support, and I love it. I think you're really onto something.
Thanks. I appreciate that. So if I'm going to start posting, and I love Instagram, so if I'm start posting, like, do IG TV from that, and then post them to my Facebook, even though my Facebook page is still under Full Sun Wellness, how do you suggest that goes, or what would be your suggestion to make sure that I don't have a lot of different things throwing around?
I would rebrand everything under you, Patricia the Badass Boomer. And actually, this is very timely because Mark Drager here is in the house, and Mark has been a friend of mine for the past decade plus, who has helped me rebrand myself. Any branding discussion, I'm always talking to Mark first, and he wrote, "Boomer, I love it." So you get the Mark Drager seal of approval too. He's
okay, great.
Of branding. So yeah, I would make everything Patricia the Badass Boomer. I would even look up, like, can you get badassboomer.com or patriciabadassboomer.com, something to rebrand it. And their ideas are still good. It's not that we're throwing those other names away. They're just they're offerings that sit underneath your main brand. That's all. Like, everything is great. It doesn't stay connected because they're all just 3 different names, but they all just fit underneath Badass Boomer.
Got it. Very cool. Okay, so I'm going to play with that over the next couple of days and go on GoDaddy and see who I'm going to show up as, and maybe even turn off my my website because I don't use it for anything. So why not just use? I mean, what do you think about that? Does anybody use a website anymore, or are we just using Facebook as landing pages and developing business from there?
I think a website is still helpful. It's not as helpful as it used to be. I think Facebook is a great way to start. Like, if I was doing everything myself and I had no team and no resources, I would just have a Facebook page that I would, like, badassboomer.com or patriciabadassboomer.com, and then auto forward to a Facebook page at the beginning. As you build and scale and grow, it's nice to have a place that can house all of your offerings. Yeah, you have your course. That if you had a homepage, it doesn't have to be super complicated, but you've got a page that says, okay, if you're getting started, here's my course. It's on the 7, and then you've got coaching, and you've got your virtual events. You've got your Instagram and your social content for people to find you. Just to have a brochure, have your story. It doesn't have to be mega complicated, but having that place. Mark has already looked it up for you. Badass Boomer is taken, but badassboomer.me is free. Look up Patricia.
Okay. Patricia Badass Boomer.
Yeah. Or thebadassboomer.com or something like that. Yeah, Mark, you gotta love Mark. Let me ask you one thing. I know we're already over time, but I'm loving this too much. What is one sentence from your I would call it a credo, but you're calling it a manifesto. It's like, what's one sentence in your manifesto that you want to put in? It doesn't have to be perfect. Just like, what's one thought that comes to mind?
So a badass boomer believes in herself. A badass boomer loves herself. A badass boomer is authentic and lives with passion, and so those would be some of my one statement things. There's many more, but that's what comes to mind. Yeah,
those are great. I'm already getting goosebumps. Like, I'm not even a badass boomer, but it's like, hey, I like the manifest. Like, a badass boomer loves herself. A badass boomer believes in herself. A badass boomer is one who stands up for herself, or whatever. So as you create your list of 20 sentences or 5 or whatever you end up with, all of those points could be separate videos for you to make. And it also, if you take people into the journey of you doing where maybe one of them is a badass boomer stands up for herself, right? And maybe today you didn't stand up for yourself enough. Like, maybe today you got an email, or somebody interrupted you or was rude to you, or whatever. and you played small and you reflected on it, it's like,
Mm.
I didn't live up to the manifesto. Like,
Yeah.
those vulnerable moments could be great content as well.
Right.
Perfect, and that you're all, the manifesto is an ideal that we're striving to, that nobody,
Mm-hmm.
not you, not Wonder Woman, like nobody achieves it. So you can show the rah of like, here's what I do to love myself every day. I do a Deepak Chopra meditation, and whatever it is that you do, great. And you pair it with the content where you are not disappointed in yourself, but just see room for improvement. Like, okay, today I didn't stand up for myself in this situation. I'm taking a note because this is part of the Badass Boomer Manifesto.
Our journey, yeah.
And next time I'm going to try to do better. And vulnerability, I think, is going to be one where you can really win. Again, because in the fitness industry, everybody's just showing off their six-pack abs and how many weights they're lifting, and like everybody seems superhuman and super perfect. And comes you, who is a badass, is still pushing, is still striving, is not just sitting down doing zero, but has moments of insecurity and vulnerability. And how do you approach those, and what do you do about it? I think it could be massive learnings and lessons for people.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, I've come away with a whole page of notes and mojo and excitement about what's kind of, what to do. I feel like, I have a little bit more clarity, and I'm really, really, really thankful for you showing up for me, and help us all to keep showing up for ourselves and to make a difference in the world.
I love it, and glad we can make round 2 work, because
yay!
Oh my God, what happened? I'm so excited.
Oh gosh!
Our friends.
Yay!
So
awesome.
In the program too, and can't wait for our next session.
Hey, thanks so much, Evan. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you, Patricia. Take care.
All right. Keep smiling, everybody. Ciao. Bye.